All right, let's talk about a metal that's literally everywhere. In our cars, our planes, our phones. It's aluminum. It's light, it's strong, it should be the perfect material. But the second you try to weld it, it fights you every single step of the way. Today, we're going to find out exactly why.
So here's the big question, right? Why is it that welding steel is, a fundamental skill you can learn in almost any workshop, but welding aluminum? That's treated like some kind of dark art, a secret for the pros. What is it about this one metal that makes it such a nightmare to work with?
I mean, on paper, aluminum is a total wonder material. It's got an amazing strength-to-weight ratio, it doesn't rust, it seems perfect for just about everything. But the moment you bring a welding torch anywhere near it, you've just stepped into a whole world of metallurgical headaches. We're going to play detective and investigate exactly what those problems are.
So to really get what's going on, we've got to compare our problem child aluminum with something we know works well, good old cooperative steel.
Okay, our investigation starts with the very first problem you run into. And it's a big one. It's this invisible barrier that puts up a massive fight before you can even touch the metal itself.
So let's start with some basic numbers. The aluminum itself melts at around 660 degrees Celsius. You look at that and think, okay, that's not so bad, pretty manageable. But, and this is a huge but,
The super thin layer on its surface melts at over 2,000 degrees Celsius. No, you heard that right. That's more than 3 times hotter than the metal it's sitting on. You would literally boil the aluminum away before that skin on top even started to get gooey. So, what on earth is this stuff?
Well, it's called aluminum oxide. And here's the thing, it's not really a metal layer, it's a ceramic. It forms instantly the second aluminum touches the air. It's tough, it's an electrical insulator, and it's the #1 reason you can't just melt aluminum together like you do with steel.
So right out of the gate, you have this insane challenge. You have to somehow blast through a layer of ceramic just to get to the metal underneath. It's kind of like trying to boil the water inside a coffee mug by only heating the mug. It's just not going to work right. And as we're about to see, that tough outer shell loves to trap other nasty stuff, which causes even more problems.
Okay, let's move on to our second suspect, because even if you manage to get past that oxide layer, aluminum's basic properties create a whole new set of nightmares. This stuff is a real heat thief.
Just look at this comparison. It tells you everything. Aluminum pulls heat away from a single spot about 6 times faster than steel does. 6 times! And on top of that, it expands twice as much when it gets hot. These aren't just small differences. They completely change how you have to approach the weld.
So what does this actually mean when you've got a torch in your hand? Well, that crazy high conductivity acts like a giant heat sink, just sucking all your energy away from the joint. You have to pump a massive amount of power into it just to get a puddle started. And while you're doing that, the whole piece is expanding and warping like crazy. It's a constant fight to keep the heat where you want it and to stop the metal from turning into a pretzel.
Right, so let's say you've punched through the oxide layer and you've managed all that heat. You're not done yet. Now you have to worry about what happens when that puddle of molten aluminum starts to cool down. Because this is where the metal basically conspires to tear itself apart.
This chart really gets to the heart of it. Just look at that difference in shrinkage. As it goes from a liquid to a solid, aluminum shrinks by about 6%, which is 3 times more than iron does. All of that shrinking creates a ton of internal stress inside your brand new weld.
So this massive shrinkage puts the cooling weld under incredible tension. And for a lot of aluminum alloys, there's this wide temperature window where the metal's kind of slushy. It's not quite liquid, not quite solid. That mushy zone is super weak, and the stress from the shrinkage can literally pull the weld apart, creating tiny cracks right down the middle. They call it hot cracking, and it's a disaster for the strength of the joint.
So we've dealt with the outside, the heat and the cooling process. But our final culprit, our last bad guy, works from the inside out. It's an invisible gas that can turn what looks like a perfect weld into something that's basically Swiss cheese on the inside.
This is wild. When aluminum is molten, it absolutely loves hydrogen. It just soaks it up like a sponge. But the instant it starts to turn solid, it decides it wants nothing to do with that hydrogen. The solid metal can barely hold any of it at all.
This chart shows it perfectly. Look at that cliff, that sharp vertical drop in how much hydrogen the metal can hold right at the melting point. As that aluminum solidifies, all that hydrogen it soaked up as a liquid has nowhere to go. It gets forced out, trying to escape as tiny bubbles. But because the metal is freezing so fast, those little hydrogen bubbles get trapped. This is called porosity, and it creates all these tiny voids and pockets all through the weld, which just kills its strength and integrity. It's a hidden defect that can lead to a total catastrophic failure down the line.
And where's all this hydrogen coming from? Basically anywhere there's moisture. It can be humidity in the air, a little bit of oil or grease on the metal, or it can even be trapped in that nasty oxide layer we talked about at the beginning. This is why being obsessively clean is absolutely non-negotiable when you're welding aluminum.
So after looking at all the evidence, after running through all the suspects, what's the final verdict? Why is this stuff so hard to weld?
Well, the case is pretty clear. We've got a whole lineup of culprits all working together. You've got that ceramic oxide shield you have to punch through, you've got the heat thief that warps the metal, you've got the high shrinkage that tries to crack the weld as it cools, and to top it all off, you've got the hydrogen saboteur creating weakness from the inside out.
So in the end, welding aluminum isn't just about melting two pieces of metal together. It's about outsmarting the material itself. It demands insane preparation to beat that oxide layer and get rid of the hydrogen, and it requires specialized techniques to control the heat and prevent cracking. It's not just a skill, it's a full-on, calculated battle against physics and chemistry.